Chael Sonnen, where controversy and chaos reign supreme. If the UFC were a battlefield, Chael would be the master tactician, manipulating opponents and the media alike with his razor-sharp wit and cunning strategy. In this video, we'll dive deep into Chael Sonnen's most controversial moments in the UFC. Now, who is Chael Sonnen? Well, he's known as the American Gangster. Chael's background in wrestling is impressive, to say the least. He's got a work ethic that's second to none and a mental toughness that could make a Navy SEAL quiver in his boots. But what really sets Chael apart from the pack is his personality. The guy knows how to talk trash. I mean, he's got a tongue sharper than a samurai sword, and he's not afraid to use it. He'll take shots at anyone and anything. And you know what? He does it with a grin on his face and a twinkle in his eye. It's like he's playing a game of chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And let's not forget about his antics outside of the octagon. This guy has made headlines for everything from bad-mouthing his opponents to getting into verbal spats with the UFC brass. And you know what? People eat that stuff up. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that Chael knows how to get people talking. But here's the thing. He's got the skills to back up the talk. He's a world-class wrestler with a lethal ground game, and he's fought some of the biggest names in the sport. When he steps into the octagon, he's there to win, plain and simple. So now that we understand the man a little better, let's get to the juicy part. Trash talking. A staple of Chael Sonnen's career in the UFC.
He tried to feed a bus a carrot, and now you're telling me that country has computers? I didn't know that. I did not know that.
This guy knows how to ruffle some feathers and get people talking, that's for sure. One of his most memorable moments was leading up to his 2010 title fight against Anderson Silva. Chael had some choice words for Silva and his home country of Brazil. Let's just say he didn't hold back, and it caused quite an uproar among Brazilian fans. He called the country a third world dump, and said that the people there were filthy animals. And to no one's surprise, that did not go down well. But that didn't stop Chael from continuing to run his mouth. However, all that trash talking came with consequences. After his fight with Silva, Chael tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, and was suspended and fined. That's right, even the best trash talker in the game isn't above the rules. But Chael wasn't done yet. After several controversial moments, Chael Sonnen had a highly anticipated rematch with Anderson Silva at UFC 148. The trash talking had reached an all-time high. Leading up to the rematch, Sonnen once again employed his signature trash talk, relentlessly insulting Silva and his home country of Brazil in interviews and public appearances. He even went so far as to call Silva a fake Brazilian and a criminal for allegedly associating with members of a Brazilian criminal organization. Chael even claimed that Silva had a history of steroid use. These comments caused outrage among Brazilian fans and even led to death threats against Sonnen. But could he back up his words with actions in the octagon? The fight was epic, with Sonnen dominating Silva for much of the fight before ultimately succumbing to a TKO in the second round. In the fight's aftermath, Sonnen once again faced criticism and backlash for his comments, but he remained unapologetic, insisting that his trash talk was all part of the game and that he had no regrets. And when you thought we would have learned his lesson, he went on to take shots at another famous athlete, Lance Armstrong, during a UFC press conference. Chael said Armstrong gave himself cancer by using PEDs and was a cheating dirtbag. This sparked outrage and criticism from Armstrong and others. Chael was unapologetic as usual and continued using his sharp tongue to build up his persona and fan base. Another notable feud for Chael was with Jon Jones, leading up to their fight at UFC 159. Chael wasn't shy about commenting on Jones's legal troubles and personal life. This caused tension and drama between the two fighters and had fans eagerly anticipating their matchup. Just when you thought Chael was done mocking Brazil, you're wrong. This guy sure knows how to poke the bear. He took aim at the Nogueira brothers, two legendary fighters from Brazil, during an appearance on a radio show. Chael didn't hold back in mocking the brothers, making fun of their English skills and even imitating their accents. He called them stupid and not very good fighters. This didn't sit well with the MMA community, especially fans from Brazil who were quick to voice their anger and disgust at Chael's comments. Even the Nogueira brothers responded with Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira saying that Chael's comments were disrespectful and showed a lack of class. But Chael being Chael, he didn't back down from his words. He doubled down on his comments, saying that he was just speaking the truth and that people needed to lighten up. But Chael wasn't just all talk. He backed it up in the octagon. He had some impressive wins over top fighters like Yushin Okami and Brian Stann. However, his career was not without controversy. You guys must be thinking, after all the trash talk and controversies, what was the aftermath for Chael Sonnen? Let's say it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. His reputation took a major hit within the UFC and MMA communities, with many fans and fighters alike questioning his integrity and sportsmanship. This was never more evident than after his failed drug test. Chael Sonnen's failed drug test after UFC 117 was a shocking moment in his career that sent ripples through the MMA world. The outspoken fighter had built a reputation for being brash and controversial, but this revelation took things to a whole new level. The failed test resulted from elevated testosterone levels, which Chael claimed was due to a medical condition. However, this explanation was met with skepticism by many who saw it as an excuse for his behavior. The fallout from the failed test was momentous, with Chael being suspended and fined by the California State Athletic Commission. It was a low point in the fighter's career, and one he would work hard to overcome in the following years. But did he let that stop him? Not a chance. Even after his loss to Rashad Evans at UFC 167, Chael's personality and controversies continued to be a part of his career. His decision to retire shortly after that fight was likely influenced by the weight of his scandals, but then later came out of retirement to fight Tito Ortiz in Bellator. It's hard to say for sure, but one thing is certain. Chael's legacy in the sport is forever linked to his trash talking and controversies. But wait, there's more. Chael wasn't done with MMA just yet. He made a move to Bellator, where he continued to bring his unique brand of entertainment and drama to the octagon. He has continued to make controversial comments and stir up drama. So Chael Sonnen may be many things, but one thing's for sure, he's never been afraid to stir the pot. Like a master chef in the kitchen, he's been known to add just the right amount of spice to each of his fights, making them must-see events for UFC fans. But let's face it, with great power comes great responsibility. And while Chael's trash-talking and controversial antics have helped to build his reputation, they've also earned him a fair share of criticism and backlash. This was Chael Sonnen. His most controversial moments in the UFC.